Okay, so I have a free system here built inside of MT4, using all of MT4's built-in colors and stuff, or not their format of a grid. So this is a universal template that can run on anything really, because you could go run it on wheat, corn, all that shit. Because when you run the grid thing, where you have pips here, that's calibrated to trade forex. So when you switch to different instruments, that's a big consideration. So this is just a 4-hour chart of the euro dollar. And if you was to say, okay, this is the 21 period moving average system, and this is just three styles of math. So we have the exponential, which is pretty fast, pretty much responds the fastest to price, this yellow one. And the blue one is the simple, which is the most sluggish kind of update on price. And then the linear weighted, which is, I guess, it splits the difference a little bit. It's closer to the exponential, but it's not quite as sluggish as the simple. We could put a smooth down here, which maybe is going to be even more sluggish than the simple. I'm not sure the smoothing method. And you might be able to even fucking dial that in too. So, and this is just a 21 EMA, so this fits the bill for any kind of Fibonacci fetishes you have, or you just want to be one better than a 20, You smooth it out just a little bit more. It's funny. It reminds me of EQ, on recordings, Listen to some recordings and you just have to say to yourself, what the fuck were they thinking, right? But some of that's done because they don't want the needle to bounce on the vinyl, but for God's sakes, man, put some bass on that, right? But now things have so much bass on it that fucking people got subwoofers in their fucking, girlfriends, I'm like, dude, where don't you have bass in this thing? But for people that like to trend trade, or have a roll system, roll filter like this, and we're just going to ignore all the smart money trades on here, which is the supply and demand trades, and it's referred to as smart money because these flash crashes or these reversals. So the person that can trade a reversal is apparently more clever than the person that just goes with the trend, because what's the bias? Okay, well, the bias could be determined here without any kind of more math than just saying, well, as soon as the exponentials cross below the simple, these two styles, we're just gonna sell here, or we're gonna only sell rallies from here until. Well, here's first crossover of this exponential, but the linear weighted doesn't cross till here, so they really don't. Because now, did you just break a rule there? Should you dump everything as soon as you get to this one? Right? Is that the rule? So, and back testing it, forget about it. Don't even bother, because right now you should be looking to buy any pullbacks because you're long. I mean, it's pointing up. I know that it's probably going to pull back, maybe. I don't know that, but I mean, like, dude, this thing could fucking totally keep melting tonight back into here. There's nothing to prevent that, just because you've chosen the moving average, just because you have the Holy Grail trend system. So, the this supply and demand trading is really dog eat dog, so to speak, because you have to be on it, or it's not worth the trade, because you're really just trading a zag, where the trend traders are holding through zigzags, right? So if you're holding through the zigzag as opposed to this, why the trend trader, who's that, Ed Sequoia, the trend trader guy who's singing with the fucking banjo, which I'm not a big banjo fan. I mean, I'd break it over your head in a second, but He's the banjo guy at Sequoia or something. Market wizard. When they say market wizard, it's just people that are able to make money trading without too much effort. Apparently, well, no, I mean they definitely people have their. There are definitely some times where it just goes terribly wrong, but you know how to make it back. So this is the Linda Raschke approach: is that you lose money. If you lose money, it's like dude. So I see the gas hitting the $5 thing on the fucking thing. On the pumps, they're gonna have to recalibrate it for 10. We're gonna have the 10 handle. So okay, yeah, well, all right. I look at it like it reminds me of a swing trade where I'm down 200 pips, and I'm like, damn, fuck, is this gonna retrace or what? I mean, what the fuck? So, but if you realize there is an abyss, there is a vacuum, they go really deep, and the final capitulation, so to speak, which you can see on this chart, this is a pretty deep cavern of collapse. This is the 4-hour euro dollar. So, and you can see the same thing happening. Enough already point was coming up on the stock markets too. So this is the 4-hour chart. So this means this is Sunday night. Sunday night, and we fall through the floor here, and we get back. And actually, if you were to strictly get out, so if this is a bottom and this is you can afford to buy this. I'm supposing you could buy you could buy 1, 2, 3x. And people keep asking me or saying, well, what if you bought a 10x, a 40x, a 90x with $300 in the account? Yes, you would blow the account up. Okay, I'm just going to tell you, you would blow the account up. But if you look at this in terms of how much can you afford per box, this is like real estate. Can you afford to? But you want to realize it's going to crush into here. And you don't want to babysit the trade. This is a set and forget it. So it's better than trend trading to buy the supply zone without regard to this guy who's still short, or he went short here because all his moving averages crossed over, or the robot went short here. When you back tested it, your robot got whipsawed here. This is why you don't even bother back testing this shit. Like, the idea that you're going to back test this, dude, you just should know the rules and just do it. There's no fucking way. If you can't see that from Sunday night, this big pounding rally is a road to nowhere, because it's just kind of filling this, and then this becomes the constant buying zone. So you have to run trade plans that can capture this noise, because your trend systems are going to get the shit beat out of them during this phase. So you got to be two people. I mean, you got to see that the other guys trade. What's causing your trend to happen? And when does this robot finally get a clue that it's time to go long? Right here. Right. All of the exponentials cross the simple, go long. In fact, this is the only fucking time this robot would have nailed it. He went long here. That's fucking good, right? Because if the trade plays out to here and it's knocking on the previous floor, and now it's looking for attempted engulfment, but it doesn't make it. Wah, wah, wah. It fills this cube block here, but it filled this area is what's really going on. I mean, that's certainly the capsize, the pressure, huge release, and then back to, and this is where the trend traders safely get in. So if you're Alexander Elder entries, you're going to get in here, and you're going to get in here because you're looking for it to come back to the river. You know, you're looking for it to come back to the mean value, and this is also a confirmation in structure. But, and I get that you could trade like that, but I don't know. At some point, don't you want to be able to buy this plunge. I think these are just the most exciting trades, honestly. And then here it's like fucking you're out. Like you're just out on the scalps. Now you could reload this thing. Look, it went one tick lower. I went like five ticks lower, which is a lot. If you're in really big there, it's a lot. But you probably notice it. But depends, you know. But you got to hustle. And of course here, after this capitulation here, it comes ripping back. Doesn't make it to here. Doesn't make it to there. And of course your trend bots get a little. If they strictly sell while these are crossed over, then they'd have to immediately reverse and go long. They go long here. But I've already traded this. And if I'm still holding this ticket with a 4-box stop, we'll just say 4-box stop, to make 4-box, right? So if this is your big kind of like, well, I don't care if this thing goes underwater because my target's up here and my stop is here. Here's my entry. And if I do another ticket like that with that same stop and that same, you know, I don't know. And it's all layered in there, but I gotta have these scalps put in here because if I don't have the scalps in here, I just won't pay the rent. You just can't pay the rent. You gotta have this because this is such a high probability dead cat bounce before we finally climb out. You can safely get in here where the trend traders are getting in, and there's enough. So, the guy that's holding this ticket, which would be me, I'm holding this ticket. When I see it come out to here, if I don't sell this thing, which I'm able to sell a little bit of these things. I sold a little bit today on this stuff here, but these kind of pullbacks. But I just get the fuck out because after selling here, I want to start buying again on limits. Not because of this trend system. I'm not using this. I'm just thinking, wow, this looks like a great place to, like right now. Anytime it's tanking, I guess I feel like it's a good time to buy on some level. But this is a week from here to here. Here's another week. So this 2-week low. And don't forget, if you look back here in time, go way back, it's going to be a couple years. This price hasn't been seen in, I think, 4 years. So it really doesn't matter. And if you look at the volume here, which you wouldn't really have to, but I imagine the volume here is psychotic. And this, I traded that on Friday, that last smash on this thing. I did do that trade. So that was a lot of fun. And the retracement. This explosion here, and then I fell asleep. I put some tickets in, and I couldn't believe that the market dipped here. This is about 40 pips. Can't see it on there. It's not marked, but so this is just nuts. Look at this move here. And of course, is the robot long? Yeah, he goes long here. I mean, he's supposed to be in buy mode here. And the robot should have bought this because it's still above. And the robot should have bought. Well, here's where the robot gets whipsawed. It's going to sell there. It's in sell mode. It grabs this sell though. But the problem is your targets need to be just like that, perfectly like that. Otherwise, you're never going to make any fucking money there. So the idea that why don't you just sell here and then just get out here? You know that. Well, make the moving averages longer, extend your filter. But if you do that, then you're not going to get in here. You're going to get in here. You're going to get in later. So the idea that you're going to adjust this shit for the Holy Grail is just it's ridiculous. It's a reason to get in the market, and you could even pile on top of the candlestick patterns on that, which would be another thing to just torque your brain. But people love to have a lot of confirmation because they just really, you know, the more they risk, the more they want to be precise. Because it's just like, you know, why would you not want to align your car before you drive really fast? So, yeah, you want to tune it up just right, but when the market collapses like this and you see, oh, you know what? I know my systems went short here, but how long do you want to, like, unless it has an automatic trailing stop? And at that point, it's going to cash out the whole position here. So if you're going to come and move, you could do that too. All these things matter. Are you going to manage that one trade? I mean, that's a lot of fucking money very quickly. And then this is too, in a way. But if you don't get out of that, it comes all the way back to where you could have got, if you're trading breakouts where you have sell stops here, it came back to your entry. You didn't make any money. If you're hunting to get in here in this pocket, and you just want to keep buying there and dump, buy, dump, buy, dump, buy, dump. You don't even have to sell it, really. Just buy, dump, buy, dump, buy, dump. But yes, you're going to see this thing. And that poor girl, that trading, mindfully trading girl. Oh my God. What happened to her? So, she's ridiculous. Look at these little trading guys. My trading men, they come out and they support the market. See, the market finds support at my little trading men that come out here. So they support the market. It's in my advanced course. You have to be a charter member for that. But you're gonna sign up, or I'm gonna ban you from watching my videos. The Sunday night here before the crossover. But if you had a very fast crossover system, oh yeah, I'd get in here, but then you'd get whipsawed, and then you'd go short here, and then you'd go long, and you'd be short. So the guys that are waiting for it to come back to this is where it's catching up to your moving averages. This is when it catches up to your indicators right here, see? That's a catch-up point. But if I bought here, I'm cashed out. Actually, I'm selling into that. I do want it to go higher because I just love these kind of exciting, like when it explodes up here. So since I didn't get in here for the breakout or even wasn't even in it, I saw it explode up and I go, God damn it, really? So I put sell limits up there. I'm like, you guys are fucking nuts with that price. And sure enough, it comes back to here, but I don't wait that long. This is a 4-hour chart. So this is like, after 8 hours, I'm out. I'm out. Because look at this thing wick up again. It's a 4-hour chart, man. This thing's fucking ridiculous. Look at all this trading price action going on in a 4-hour bar. This is 4 hours up, 4 hours down. It fucking didn't go anywhere in 8 hours. This market didn't go shit. And you're supposed to be looking for sells. So you sold here. You never took profits. Maybe you got a trailing stop. Maybe you have your original stop here. They stop you out. Like, what the fuck happened? I'm following my system. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I haven't raped my neighbor. I mean, I'm keeping everything just completely kosher. But we got a problem. I just keep losing money trading this system here. This free system. Oh gosh. That's why I couldn't hang over at the no nonsense Discord. But I bet if I went over there and tried to make up with those guys, I'd show my trading system. So I just treat it like a politician. I just ignore all the facts and I'd just be like, yeah, well, let me show you how my system works, guys. It's like you sell here. And call me in the morning. See how much money you made. Oh, that's a good system. Yeah, you can be in our club. But can you tell us, did you back test it? I'm like, did I back test it? Back testing it right now. I front tested it. I side tested it. I even got out the fucking rape kit on this thing. Make sure it hadn't been abused before I married it. Oh no, I married this fucking trading system. That's another thing. I could never be faithful to a trading system. I could never get married again. Can't do that because, I just think, what if I just want to flip the coin one day and just go fucking full retard? Do I really want some baggage? I want somebody like tagging along going, what are you doing now? And why are you doing that? Well, no, what are you doing? I don't know if you've ever been with people like that, but it's like it's intolerable after a while. You're like, get the fuck out of here. Fuck you. What do I look like, an idiot? I might look like an idiot, but not everything. I'm not not stupid like everybody says. Come on, come here, come here, you. Come here, son. You've been trying to trend trade with that. Get whipsawed, ain't you? Get whipsawed. Bought this thing online and started trading it. Got it from Nigeria. It's crazy. So ICT thinks he's the savior. Well, I can save you from that moving average system here. And this is the invention of the smart money concept, or supply and demand, which is a valid thing, but we're talking about there's a supply zone right here, and there's one right here. Right? So which one are you talking about? Just like there's a macro trend and there's a micro trend. It looks like we're taking a little rally here. So I'm doing good on this trade, I think. For the moment, I'm going to go to the so if you're going to trade the 4-hour chart, you're going to wait for this setup. So you mean to tell me, now there are people that could do it, and I'm not going to be one of them, but they're waiting for this thing to come to here and form a cluster, and then they're going to say, well, what I need is an engulfing of the last 4 hours. Okay, can I write this down? Yeah, you can write it all down. It's free. Go do the checklist again. Okay, moving averages have crossed over. Now sit. Can you be patient? Well, I think I can. Okay, during this phase here, when it's taking off like a motherfucker, you ain't gonna get in that trade, huh? No, that is not your trade, son. This is gonna be. How does anybody teach trading to somebody? So what you're gonna do here is you're gonna wait. How long? Well, this is 4-hour bars. It's fucking 12 hours up, 12 hours down. About a day. Okay, I'm listening so far. And yeah, so when you see this engulfing of this last 4 hours, am I going to buy here? No, son, you don't buy there either. Where do I buy? That's what people have showed me these systems. I'm like, how have you not blown your brains out? Seriously, how is your head still attached to your neck? How did this happen? So they say, well, what's she gonna do after this thing engulfs? I mean, it seems like, right, it'd be a hammer on an 8-hour chart. It seems like a place to get no. We're gonna wait for the delta of this doji to get nice and wait for the bout till they dry up, and then I'm gonna open up my other platform. I got another screen here, and I'm gonna look up the manufacturing index. And I like to do something a lot of people don't look at, this ICT angle. There's this little thing, unknown thing. I remember somebody was talking about this once. Some guy went off on this thing about, I can't remember who it was now, but they went off about how, it's probably the money, the people that look at the fundamentals. That there's an overnight exchange in the LIBOR market that is X. I'm like, okay, it's X, which means, well, something else is going to be Y. And so we don't even know that. Anyways, it's tangential. It's too much. It's really too much, but I get it, And then, so you want to wait for this. I'm going to also look at another thing that most people look at, because everybody has to look at that, is the the CRB index. That's the commodities index. We used to look at that. I used to look at these papers, the Barron's. Everybody read Barron's magazine? I don't know if they still make it. It's a big fucking paper magazine. Interesting feeling paper. And the other one was oh shit, this was like a really thin paper. Oh god, I can't remember. Okay, it was a commodities thing. So it come in big charts. These are fucking, I'd say, 2 feet by 18 inches. It's crazy. And you could lay this thing on your desk, and it was already gridded out just like this in a way. And it was crazy. I mean, and I would look at it thinking, well, shouldn't I look at this? Isn't it going to help? And because the industry's looking at it, you should look at that. All right, but what if you just had a total beginner's mind of it, and you were able to make money because you just thought, well, this seems like a logical thing to do. I'm not going to put too much weight on it and worry about what the news is. And I mean, if the news comes out and you got your finger on the trigger and you look at that number, it's really not what you think about that number. It's what the mob, the crowd thinks about that number. Because when they start panicking, when they depeg they depeg the Bitcoin there, they really pulled the Swiss franc on that, didn't they? Off the stable coin. So nobody's heads exploded too bad though. Kind of, some of the guys in the band, they got a couple Bitcoins. I think for one guy said, "Oh, I put a little bit in there every month." Like, I love that fucking approach to life. Yeah, every month I put a little bit aside for the kids. You're not gonna have kids. You're a drug addict. um, every month, it's like I put a little bit aside there, and I buy a couple silver coins and stuff. And I think to myself, all right, dude, what are you saying? Like that? I guess it's a little bit of a help. Like, if the world comes to a fucking end, are people gonna watch your coins? I mean, I really do wonder what would happen to gold if this shit hit the fan. If people start selling so that they can eat, isn't the price of gold going to go down? Or is that just me? I mean, if you have a wealth effect, if people are losing money, and when you hear the retail side of the Bitcoin story, let's go to Bitcoin there. Okay, so it's gonna be 8:30. It's gonna be 9:30 here, so it's a big deal. We're bracing for a rally, or a sell off. Either way, I'll take it. I got buy limits below down here to buy anything pulling back into my holy grail fucking trading. Here's another one. So the price of this pullback is more expensive than the price of this pullback. And is this the more better entry? Oh, no, you know what? I wait for this one. This is the one on Friday coming into the close here. And I was long thinking, can we take out the high from here by end of Friday? Not quite. But coming into Sunday, we just ripped through the ceiling there. So I found a scalp up here and a couple buys and sells in there. But right now, I'm sitting with buy limits here. And this account's just something I ran the robots on. But then I turned the robots off. So I was running a bunch of buy limit bots in here for about a month. But this is just epic times. This is fascinating. Witnessing. Well, right now we have quite a bit of data now. I was talking to the guys in the band. So this drummer, in 1983, we started playing. So we've been playing 40 years. Not straight 40 years, but I've been knowing this guy for 40 years. People don't really change their chops, I suppose, at the core. They're how they are. So that's their personality, and that's certainly. So we did some. We haven't played in a while, so we played. It was pretty amazing how it's instant rapport. If you know what to expect. And things are pretty stable, actually, I suppose. But the crude oil story is pretty amazing. It's costing more to refine it because it's higher than the highest price in crude oil that happened. I'm using my Holy Grail system on this too. Look at this weekly high. Because it was a flash moment, there was no way to the gasoline, the refinement of the crude is a different story. So this is just smashing around up here. But my crude oil on the weekly, if you put it on a weekly, my system trend system seems to be in pretty good shape here, except for it doesn't quite go short here. Yeah, it never gets a short signal. It gets close here. It's a pretty solid trend. This is the monthly, but I don't know. I just don't trade crude, and I just don't think these things keep going. I don't think they grow to the sky. There's a point at which people are just going to not use fuel. People driving around. I see people driving around with a fucking mask on, dude. So I mean, you got the kind of money. Like I can understand driving around without a mask on because you're taking a little risk, and that's worth a few extra dollars per gallon. But if you're gonna put a mask on and like, oh, dude, sky's the limit there on the fucking fuel. Don't you feel a little risky stretching out all your fucking silver coin dough on that stuff? Because, if you sell your silver coins, you're going to be paid in dollars. So you can run to the store with a wheelbarrows full of money to get stuff. Oh, the fear porn's amazing. That's why I just prefer real porn. And I search for it. Always looking for some fresh porn. But yeah, the fear porn. I guess if you're horror movies, right? That you're supposed to be watching. Look at the monthly stock market, Dow Jones. So perspective wise, this is Corona, and this is this. Oh, the end of the world's coming. But look at all these great scalps. If you're buying the monthly wicks, buy and dump. Buy this one, dump. Oh, my system's getting a sell. Starting to get an early sell. We have to wait for a rally. We're going to wait for that to cross over. Look at that. Corona didn't even affect my... almost got a sell signal here. Oh, see, we got to dial that in better on the monthlies. Because, the next time this happens, and that's the big fallacy. There's no next time this shit happens. It'll never fucking happen again. You're never going to see it. Well, actually, this may be a distant memory of sell-off. Like, you'll see bigger sell-offs than that. That is the harshest sell-off. So they're saying, this is the biggest sell-off. No, dude. This is the fucking biggest sell-off. This is just like chop. It's so funny to listen. This is a sell-off here. That's a fucking sell-off. And so is that. This, it looks like they're going to torture people now. Sideways chop. The bears are frustrated. The bulls are frustrated. Nobody makes money. Just the scalpers. The market makers take your money away from yous. They're just too clever. Outthinking yous. The crude oil's on fire. So Bitcoin's melting down. I was going to do a video about Bitcoin just before it fell through the floor. So the same floor situation the euro had here. As soon as you took out this, January. Now I think it could keep tanking. Right? Look at how depressing the monthly chart is on Bitcoin. Well, you get a load of that. I'm getting a sell signal. She's crossing over. Early warning. I'd be on high alert, ready to sell. I think it's so funny. But that's doomsday. Like so here's the doomsday wicks that we've nicked. The scalpers have had their fun here. But guess what? We still have all the way to the true breakout point in that little top wickety at about 19,000 there. That was the big breaksy out. But if I was a scalper in this, I would just lay buy limits in here and just trade all the bounces, all the dead cat bounces inside that, which I think would be pretty profitable range trading, chop trading, day trading, scalping. But the big picture, yeah, so NASDAQ's a worse meltdown. This actually is a perfect sell here on the 21 system. Kind of an ideal high drama, especially if you're going to wait for that sweet spot. Now, seeing how this is the weekly chart, I just don't think I'm just gonna tell you straight out, I ain't got the patience for this weekly system. But this is probably the biggest money making trend system in the world, is the weekly. Get 3 entries a year. It looks like that, you know. Here's an entry, perfect entry. Come back to this envelope. Look at that. This is an epic fail there for entry. So here you got stopped out, and then there's your sell. Bottom becomes a top. Anything below here now. So when it takes out this low, which is your big, there's still the supply and demand trade here, the smart money trade, right? But these are built upon, this is just inventory. This isn't built upon like a moving average in here and stuff like that. I mean, it's just spiking down like this whole giant carved out area in price, and the reaction is so brutal. And the people that bought here, when it gets back to here, they just take their positions off. All the people that do that, the people that get out because it's a rally into the downtrend, all those people come together in one point in time, and they all show up because it's coming into their radar. Yes, I see the trend trade, but I'm not fucking waiting this many months. Like, what? Then when I get in here, I get to get in so fucking big. Or what? It's just a baby trade? Yeah, well, because I'm going to buy when it comes back. You don't know it's coming back here. But if you're a long-term investor, you know, if I was running at some fucking... Well, but with that logic, you would have bought the Corona crash here. It's coming back to your envelope, right? Is it not? Same. So this is why you don't need to back test, because you can see the fuck up right here. Oh, I back tested it. You couldn't see that it's gonna fuck up here. It's gonna at some point. It's not gonna fucking work. It's gonna destroy your holy grail. And look how gentle it is here. Crossover. So all of these weeks of rally is such a gentle. And looking back, I don't want to zoom out and ruin the fun of this view, but you got to know that this is the all-time high. comes Corona. Oh, this is just epic. I can't believe this data, man. I tell you, this fucking Corona really set the stage. These people made so much fucking money with all their gizmos. Look at this thing. Eclipses. Wow. Trump's in office. Everybody's having fun. Gasoline is fucking cheap. And then they fucking install a douchebag. Everybody's asleep at the wheel. You think that when you voted it was some type of like certified mail. You feel like oh well, I'm not stealing cookies out of the cookie jar. Why would anybody want to do that? Besides, you're just going to get fat. Well, not everybody thinks like you. Apparently. Another heartbreaking assumption that people are complete assholes on some level. It's a bit heartbreaker. So that's a revelation. Committed and unified assholes. The single cause of really wanting to keep the gravy train going. And of course, if your client calls up and says, are you going to argue with your client? He likes Sony stock, and you're like, the PE ratio is not that good, and that latest report was so and so. And he goes like, I got 5 fucking Sony TVs. Shut the fuck up. Let this guy buy Sony stock. And if you go to a dinner party and the people there, are talking, oh, I got Sony stock, and like, what are you gonna say? What are you, fucking nuts? So that is the first skill set, is to be good at bullshitting and keep a game face on there. But the market, the price doesn't lie, and the wicks don't lie, and at some point, I was just at the store today getting some meat, but I think I have to change it. The quality's going down or something. I don't know if they're not lowering the price. The price has not changed, and it was on sale today. And I thought, oh gosh, I'm not sure the quality is the same though. A lot of paranoia out there, and I don't know how people are tolerating this shit. Honestly, since I'm a dropout, I really don't participate much. Just can't tolerate it, Driving in the car is about, and then I'm getting a problem with opening doors now. I go into this gas station and awkwardness. Come to that door, I open it up and some guy's opening the door, and I just walked through it and I said thanks, and give me a dirty look like I wasn't opening for you. I'm like, dude, it's a door. So everybody's all fucking, like I said, he used the right pronoun. Open the fucking door. We don't use that word around here. You can't say that. But yeah, the trading systems and the books are like that. They show you ideal situations. And then you go out looking for that setup, and you're like, I don't see that setup in the market. Is it setting up now? So that's when you want to change the time frame. So I wouldn't call it forcing a trade, but I think if you go down to the 15-minute chart with the same 21 EMA, same 21 moving average system bullshit, you're going to have to change time frames, but then you're going to have to be pretty quick on the draw. Your targets are going to be shorter. Your entries are going to be shorter. So everything's going to definitely be the shorter thing, but there's not. You want to be intense or casual trader? What do you think? So that's it. I guess you're just going to have to fit it in. Or you don't even have to trade, actually. that's the recommendation that I was at a seminar, and I can't remember who said it, but some guy said, "Well, you don't have to trade." I'm like, I don't have to trade. That'd be like saying you don't have to think. I'm gonna trade. Oh, I'm sorry. So you can do it, but it's not mainstream. So when I see the gas prices, like, that's so funny. I'm just not gonna fill my car all the way up, dude. Like, people are saying shit like, "I just filled my car and it costs." Why'd you fill your car up? You really are stupid. But they don't apparently they don't trade micro lots, so they can't think micro. Like, I don't even think. Well, maybe I would fill up a half a tank. I might fill my car all the way up, but honestly, unless you always fill your car all the way up, you should not fill your car all the way up. And since my car is, I don't know who owned my car before, the float doesn't always like it when you all of a sudden, now you're filling me all the way up and the float isn't used to floating that high, and the weight of the car. So when I fill the car up, I can feel it, and because my car doesn't weigh enough, I guess. So the ratio's there, and I go, wow. And if I fill it all the way up, I'd be like, oof. I guess should I add some air to the rear tires? I should add a few pounds. And the price can't maintain. That's just an unsustainable price. I'm sorry. Like, where's the fucking buyers at? And no, I'm sorry. It's fear priced. So the price of crude oil is not what it's worth. It's what people think it's worth. It's fear, you know. These are all fear prices because all people have to do is step away for a little bit, and they go, you know what? I don't know. I mean, I really don't. I'm not into buying a camper or a mobile home. I can never, even if gas was a fucking dollar a gallon. Like, are you gonna get a mobile home and drive around with these fucking ass clowns out here driving? Come on, man. Even Biden would say, "Come on, man." Even, you know, I give you, "Come on, man." That one, it's like fucking, take your life in your hands, dude. Not to mention, I don't really. One of these days, I'm going to be in one of those situations where there's going to be some idiot that fucking blows himself up, and I'm going to have to try to. I guess I'm going to have to be the hero. Try not to get killed. Drag some guy out of a burning car. Am I going to have to do that, or am I going to have to be like, is there any real men around here? Is anybody around? I just kind of like. I'm good with a mouse. I mean, I'm good with like a computer, and I'm good with like I can fix the car, but I can't get it up in the. I can't pull the engine out. I'm not that guy. Can somebody step in here, please? Get that Buddha judge guy over here to get that guy out of the fucking burning car. Get that fucking idiot. What are these people doing? They're just placeholders for fucking people with a fucking got a fucking clue. So I love the fact that the black market and the whole thing keeps driving along. It's just cracking me up every second. There's some dumb shit came out. I'm issuing a sell signal on gasoline and crude oil tonight. I heard this dumb shit come out 2 days ago. The experts are saying that the average price of gas will be around $6 a gallon in August. I'm like, you're kidding. You're fucking out of your mind, dude. There's no fucking way. Mark me down for there's no fucking way. It'll be like $3.50, dude. After all these primaries and this fucking absolute tidal wave of fucking red storm against the complete lunatic motherfuckers who have skateboard cunts, wannabe cunt skateboarders, up against Red Bulls. Red Bulls, come on, you can, dude, come on. Anybody can, you know what? Heavyweight, lightweight, bring all comers. I identify as a lightweight trader, a lightweight boxer. Come right in, son. You can beat the shit out of anybody you want. as the wheels come off the circus, the clown circus, it's just going to be so exquisite. And they're gonna take credit for crude oil when gas comes back to $3.50 a gallon in a month. These fucking dumb shits are gonna take credit for it. Look at what we did. It's our teamwork working together. Dude, this is a juggernaut. I'm just gonna be honest. This is a juggernaut fucknut ship of fools. That they couldn't steer this fucker. The crowd's steering it, right? The mob is steering it. Who's bidding this shit up to the ceiling? Who's overbidding Bitcoin? Like, Bitcoin's the answer? Are you nuts? It's a penny stock. And the reason fundamentally you can make for it selling off is it's not going to fucking know it. Well, first of all, there's no intrinsic value. Second of all, it doesn't pay any dividends. It's not the bond market. It's not even a stock. Even your plummeting Coke stock pays a goddamn dividend ratio. Fucking Bitcoin. I just got filled on a Bitcoin trade, just using it to transfer money. Holy shit. In 1 hour, I'm down like fucking 10% on this transfer. It's the shittiest. I mean, I've rarely been on the right side of a transfer. That's a 2-hour transfer, 4-hour transfer. So if the market's kind of like stable, like stable coin. I mean, what a fucking setup for failure. What dumb shit comes out with a coin? What are you going to call the coin? Well, I'm not going to call it Bitcoin because, you know, computers can blow up. What are you going to call it? Stable coin. Like Kellogg's cornflakes. Like, what are you, stupid? We were going to call it Surecoin, but that's so cheesy. We're going to call it the Titanic coin. Well, that's taken. We're going to call it Never Tank coin. We'll call it Tether. Something like tied to you. Yeah. So if you go down, we all go down. It's like being tied. So tethered, like you mean like tethered, like police tethered. Like if I leave my house, they're going to come after me. Only if you drive drunk again. Other than that, you're good to go. But if you're a Democrat, you're allowed to drive drunk. I'm just watching all these fucking dash cams of people getting pulled over, and they're the fucking sheriff and stuff. And it's like, can you give me a break? And I go, it's on camera. I know, but can you give me a break? Can you bitch slap this guy? What the fucking... So the clown circus is coming to an end. Who is this guy? Bitcoin. Oh, God, please. When this thing walks all the way back to 18,000. Now, what if it overshoots the runway and comes back to the actual breakout point? Not that structure shit. The last known support at 12. Well, then I'm going to buy even more. I don't know. I mean, to me, it looks like a fucking penny stock. Well, it's a flash in the pan. And to think that, and they got this thing, put your IRA into crypto. Put your IRA into crypto. Put your dick in crypto. Grind it up. Come on, man. This is the only buy I saw. Was here. I did a video about buying this plunge. But that was it. It was over. That's a counter trend trade there on this system. Here's a spinning top. I always do a trade where I get a spinning top, engulfment, and then I get in about right here. Let me show you where I got in. Because I like to wait for a lot of confirmation. In fact, I called to see if she's been a crack whore before. No, she's her first time being a crack whore with me. Okay? So I got in right about here when the delta got nice. I like to get in these dojies here. So that's my trade. And I had confirmation because we crossed over. So I got in here. And I knew the jig was up once we busted through the floor there. I thought, well, I start scaling out of that thing. And sure enough, buck still be in it right now. It'd still be dropping. That guy Edge. Don't make fun of Edge's trading. He's been trading a long. I like when people say stuff like that. Don't know he's really good at trade. Don't make fun of his trade. Don't. Oh, you made fun of his trading. Why'd you do that? You get along so well, and then you went and fucking made fun of his trade. Good God, man. My system went long right here. I back tested it just for that specific trade. Because I knew someday there'd be a Bitcoin on the weekly chart, and I'd have an algorithm ready, just sitting on the back burner waiting for a Bitcoin to show up and a weekly chart of it to show up. And after this giant, okay, we break structure. Those guys, they keep saying that, break structure here. Makes a big rally. Do you get in here? No, you do not get in here. You do not buy that breakout, son. You wait for it to come back, retest that breakout. Wow, you got confirmation that you're in a bias, and here's your bias. You can only be a buyer. And when does it switch? When does it switch? Did you check your notes? No. This is your charter member, son. You should know this shit. Right here. Confirmation. It flips. Are both these moving averages below the blue? Yes, they are. Okay. You're only allowed to sell. Well, can I ask a question? I guess you can now. Are you one of those smart money people? I guess. I'm asking for a friend named ICT. What if I put $1 million trade up on the top tickety top right here with a stop, let's say here. Okay? And that thing bibbity bobs up here and tags it. And it doesn't stop me out. And then I wait for it to come all the way back. This is ICT course in one day here. Come back here, take out this low. Okay. Because I know this low exists. I know this high exists. So smart money's going to sell up here. I actually saw a guy talk about this trade. I swear it wasn't the other guy. It wasn't the old guy in the big house. Some other guy. The guy in the big house, his name starts with an S. It's like Savage or something. Sequoia. I don't know what the fuck his name is. But I'm thinking, if I sold here and it came down here, I'd be like, oh fuck. Actually, you should technically get out here because this is where the buyers are supposed to come in. If you think this theory of a setup, you think a setup's supposed to happen, like, okay, here's the top, should become a bottom, so I'm going to buy here. That didn't work out. Okay. You may think that's, well, the order block, and here's the gap, and it's going to be, what does he call it? The auto gap, bull gap, backfiller. It's all bullshit, dude. It's just all bullshit, because what would really matter is if you put in orders here to buy, and you just traded that plan there, and this is a big trade for you, you're making money all the time. If this is all you're trying to make, but if you're trying to make this fucking home run, this is just such a rare event. So the whole problem with the idea that there's some secret is that even if there is a secret and you discover it, you still got to milk that secret. You still got to keep pulling the trigger or running that plan, right? So even these football people, these guys spend how much time coaching and directing and orchestrating how they're going to fight against a interactive team. The one thing about this game is that this market does not know you exist, so it's very kind of static. In a way, it should be easier, because if this was you against them, and you're running out, well, it is in the sense if you're against the crowd, but if you're slightly against the crowd, so I'm buying this plunge, by the way, on the euro. I didn't cancel my tickets, so I'm just filling. I turned off all the robots, but I'm filling some limits that the robot placed earlier. No, like anybody gives a fuck. But if you're wondering why the balance is going down, but I am committed to buy this tonight because I think it's totally overbought, and my shorts are done. So I can see the short side of that, and it's how big I'm going to buy into this plunge. I'll show you on the half-hour chart here. So when this started plunging, so I'm trying to do a real time. Here's my limits that I know last 4 hours. So it's been about what the fuck? This is the 30-minute chart. So it's been these tickets are going to last 4 to. I've been dropping these ones 4 hours, 1 hours. Here's a 3-hour ticket. So the idea here is you're going to catch a falling knife. It's real hard to blow up the account with these little ones I'm dropping. When the robots were dropping them, they were dropping massive tickets. But this is just going to be an example of pretty gentle trading. I'll go to the 15 minutes so it looks more dramatic. Okay, so here's a 8 pip stop, but I'm choosing the entry point. So if I put them up in the grids, 8 pip stop on the grid, 4 hours for this ticket, man. 4 hours. This is a 12 pip stop to make 8 pips, which means 8 pips with a 12 pip stop. The market comes down, and the trade plan is that it comes down, it hits this, and it retraces. So these are all retracement trades, really. You can see them as trend trades if you go to the 4-hour chart. It's a trend trade because I'm fulfilling my trend duties as a rule-based slave of my indicators and my algorithm. So I'm not a big fan of rules, and I'm not a big fan of slavery. So I kind of really don't want to wait for the okay to trade. See, here it's okay to get in. All right, but I mean, why don't we just sell into this fucking rally and then just scoop up all that fucking price action? Just sell into it. In fact, you could sell at the market, but I really don't trade much at the market because it's just pointless. Well, unless you don't think you're big enough, and then you want to load up some more. But my first entry is going to be on a limit because it's going to notify me that, oh, look, it really is going higher. I'm starting to get filled on my sells. Okay, how fast is it going up? Or I'm starting to get filled on my buys. How fast is it coming down? And let me start, since it's moving fast, I'm going to put the orders deeper, anticipating more momentum. So I'm not going to sell into that because I don't like to chase it. So tonight I'd rather just place buy limits. And even if it's a scalp of the wick, so how I'm making the money is, okay, so if you're going to go with this trend system here, I'm just putting it up here because people love this shit. Or it's a way to bunk and debunk it at the same time because I can see the Holy Grail entries here. At the same time, I can see the range tradings, just the auctions, just the supply and demand thrusting, clearing out price, coming back. The auction's over. We reset the price. There's new buyers. There's no inventory left, so you see that on Amazon. Only 3 left. So do people bid it up when it's scarce? I suppose. And then you go to the store and you see shit on sale because now you have order imbalances. Yeah, when the supply chain stops, it doesn't stop. It has gaps. So people move to different items. I'm starting to see it's kind of interesting because it's actually healthy in a way because the market responds by bringing different brands out now. So brands that have never had a voice in the market are coming out. If you go to the store, I go to the store every day, so I just can't see. I always want to buy something different to eat, so I want to go in there. Plus, I want to see if it's true. It depends where you live, because where I live, apparently nobody wants to buy anything. I mean, the prices just aren't they're not fucking out of control. Plus, there's a lot of distortion in that. You can't go back to Trump's COVID gas prices and say that he has the gas at $2. He didn't make that happen. COVID did that. So it was a complete shutdown. Now that was you did a hard stop. But then after that, all the stutters to catch up, all the buffer fill, other people that are stronger step in, or other people that are micro come in and fill the gap. So it repopulates with smaller pieces. And I haven't heard this in a long time. I'm a pretty big political listener. But the stats about small businesses is bigger than any big business. There's more small businesses, and maybe they try to wipe them out with the pandemic, or it's just naturally getting wiped out. But there's more revenue from small business add them all up than there is big business. But you don't, all these mantras, you don't really hear that stuff because other things have filled the void for what people are worried about. Now they're worried about getting fucking monkeypox and stuff. I mean, it's just ridiculous, So it's a joke now. Once you get to the joking stage, once you get the gallows humor going, then you can kind of relax about these things. You don't have to be so fucking uptight. Right, you can kind of calm down, simmer down a little bit. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't think they can stop what's coming because the ridiculousness of saying that there's more than two sexes is just beyond. It's comical. It just shows you the wealth of a nation. You're so wealthy that you're gonna fucking take me to court because I said that you're a female. Wow, we're in trouble there. So that we're not in trouble. So it just shows you how wealthy you are. And people are still driving their fucking cars at the $5 a gallon. And if you got premium in that thing, it's mind-blowing prices. But does anybody give a shit? No. Is anybody slowing down? No. A little bit. There's people driving a little bit slower. Oh, here comes the rally. I knew you could rally. I knew you could do it. Don't defy my holy grail trading system. Oh, we're supposed to be short. Oh, darn. This is the other reason why, on this time frame, here's your sell right here. You missed it. You were crossed over. You were supposed to sell there. Actually, you would have sold here. Here's your rally. Yeah, it's time to buy though. Oh well, that didn't last long. Yep, came down to the smart money entry here. So the reason why you can't, it's difficult to do this trade because, well, okay, so you're going to get in right now? Yeah, right now. Well, how big? Because it could keep tanking. So I'm counting on it just tanking. So I'm just trading zones. I don't think there's a precise entry point. It's not that smart of money. And but systems, systems like this where you are waiting for your indicators to catch up. This 5-minute chart, you're waiting for this entry right here. Top becomes a bottom. Your moving averages say you're in buy mode here. In fact, you could have bought right here. But you have to be an active trader here. You got to buy. Are you gonna wait for it to come back here to buy more? I'm not. As soon as it gets above here, I know it's sellers galore. In fact, I'd be the seller on limits into that for this kickback, this counter trade. So That'd be my sell trade, not based on any moving averages. And here's the trend traders are going to go long here. Add on to it. Looking for a big run. But if you're not cashing out on this run, then when it comes back to here, you're in sell mode. According to your system, oh, I should be selling this rally here. Now you're going to get whipsawed. Now you're just going to get destroyed. So you don't need to backtest it to see that if you sold here and you didn't take profits by now, in some regard, that we could come banging back to this thing by London Open. We could come here to buy London Open. Anyways. Once again, I can't take it anymore, so I'm going to go back to my movie watching. I could go on and on. But it just can't. But, you know, it's like, yeah, this is a linear weighted, this is a simple, and this is the exponential 21 period moving averages. That's my Holy Grail giveaway. Yep. Just don't try to use it in the markets because, well, the word got out that I was using this system, and I saw a white van circling in my neighborhood, and I know, well, it's just a matter of time. I'm going to be bobbing around in the back of that van and swearing on a Bible, stack of Bibles, that I will not ever use these tools to make money and trade against other traders that have worked darn hard to steal my stuff, plagiarize my stuff, and make me take away my status as the best market analyst that ever was, the deepest thinker about gap orders and block orders, and who's really manipulating the markets. That's right. Okay. That's settled science, I think. There you go.